Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's me. Today, I'm going to be talking about the harmful UV rays of the sun and how they affect your skin. The sun can cause some serious damage to our skin. And in this video, I'm going to talk about what we can do to protect ourselves against those harmful UV rays of the sun. So let's get started. Alright, so let's start off with number 1, and that is to use sunscreen. But not just any sunscreen. You want to make sure that it is a broad-spectrum sunscreen. That means it protects against both UVA and UVB rays. We don't want to miss either one because both of them can cause damage to our skin. So you want to look on the label, make sure it says broad-spectrum. Also, you want to make sure that it is at least an SPF of 30. SPF stands for sun protection factor. So the higher the number, the more protected you're going to be. I personally like an SPF of 50 or above. Now keep in mind that no sunscreen is going to block 100% of the sun's rays. There is always going to be some that gets through. So that is why it is so important to also protect yourself by wearing clothing, hats, seeking shade, and also avoiding being outside during the peak sun hours. So let's talk about clothing. This is another way to help protect yourself from the sun's harmful UV rays. So there has been actually quite a few studies done that show that certain clothing can actually help block most of the UV rays. So if you're going to be outside for an extended period of time, consider putting on some type of protective clothing. So for example, long sleeve shirts, long pants, a long skirt, maybe even a wide-brimmed hat. These are all things that can help protect your skin. And also, you might have heard of this before, but UPF clothing. UPF stands for ultraviolet protection. And these are special types of clothing that are specifically designed to block the sun's UV rays. So, if you're going to be outside for an extended period of time, maybe you're going on a cruise or you're going on vacation somewhere really sunny, this may be something you want to consider these special UPF type of clothing. The next way you can protect yourself is by wearing a hat. So again, this is another way to help block those harmful UV rays of the sun. So if you are going to be outside for an extended period of time, consider wearing a hat. Ideally, you want to wear one that is a wide-brimmed hat. That way, it can protect your face, your ears, your neck. All of these areas are very prone to getting skin cancer, so it's very important that we protect them. Now, keep in mind, if you are going to wear a hat, make sure it's also UPF. Make sure it has that UPF rating. That way, it will help block the sun's UV rays. Also, you may have seen some hats that have a little flap here. This flap goes down right over your forehead. This is also a great way to help protect your eyes as well. Because we all know that the sun can be very bright and it can cause us to squint, and it can cause us to kind of frown, which creates wrinkles. Nobody wants wrinkles. So this is a great way to help prevent wrinkles around your eyes and on your forehead. So this is another added bonus of wearing a wide-brimmed hat. Alright, next thing you can do to protect yourself from the sun's harmful UV rays is to wear sunglasses. So sunglasses not only look cool, but they can also help protect your eyes. So similar to the hat, the sunglasses can help prevent wrinkles around your eyes. And the sun, those UV rays can actually damage your eyes. It can cause cataracts, it can cause macular degeneration. So it's very important that you protect your eyes as well. So whenever you're outside, put on those sunglasses, put on that hat. Whenever you're outside, put on that sunscreen. Put on your protective clothing. These are all things that can help protect you. Next, try to avoid going outside during the peak sun hours. So the peak sun hours are between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. During these times, the UV rays of the sun are at their strongest. So you want to try to avoid going outside during these times if possible. Now, I know sometimes that's just not possible. Maybe you have kids and you have to take them to soccer practice, or maybe you work outside. So there are some jobs where you can't get out of the sun. However, if you do have the option, try to avoid those peak sun hours because that is when the sun's UV rays are the strongest. If you do have to be outside during those peak sun hours, then that is when you want to make sure that you are taking extra precautions. So that is when you want to make sure that you have on that sunscreen, that protective clothing, your sunglasses, and your hat. But try to avoid those peak sun hours if you can. Another way to protect yourself is to keep an eye on your skin. So it is important that we keep an eye on our skin, especially if we spend a lot of time outside. We want to make sure that we look for any new or unusual moles. We also want to make sure that we look for any changes in our skin. Moles are a very common type of skin growth. Almost everyone has them. However, sometimes moles can turn into skin cancer. So it is very important that we keep an eye on them and make sure that they are not changing. The ABCDE rule is a great way to remember what to look for when looking at your skin. So A stands for asymmetry, so you want to look for any growths that are not symmetrical. B stands for irregular borders, so you want to look for any growths that have irregular borders, not clear-cut but kind of irregular. C stands for color, so you want to look for any change in color. Maybe it's a mole that used to be brown, but now it's turning black, or maybe it's turning blue. Or maybe you're noticing some areas that are red, because that could also be a sign of skin cancer. D stands for diameter, so you want to look for any growths that are larger than 6 millimeters. Okay, so about the size of a pencil eraser. And E stands for evolving, so anytime you notice anything evolving or changing on your skin, you want to get that checked out by your doctor. So the ABCDE rule is a great way to remember what to look for when checking your skin. Now, another thing you can do to help protect yourself from the sun's harmful UV rays is to seek shade. Anytime you're outside, try to find some shade. So maybe there's a tree around. Maybe there's a building. Try to find some shade because that will help reduce your risk of getting sunburn, and it will also help reduce your risk of getting skin cancer. And last but not least is stay indoors when it's really hot outside. So again, this is another way to help protect yourself. When it's really hot outside, when it's really sunny, try to stay indoors if you can, because that will help protect you from the sun as harmful UV rays. Now, I know sometimes that's just not possible. Maybe you have to go outside. Maybe you have to walk your dog. Or maybe you have to go on that cruise or on that vacation. So there are some times when we have to go outside. But if you do have the option to stay indoors, especially when it's really hot outside or when it's really sunny outside, stay indoors. So those are my top tips for protecting yourself from the sun's harmful UV rays. So hopefully you found this video helpful. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions. And please share this video with others who might benefit from it. And if you did enjoy this video, please hit that thumbs up button. That really helps my channel, and I would really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching, have a blessed day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.